6 bottles of these. 200 bucks.
Okay, it seems to be live. Harvey, okay?
All right.
I was fighting with the camera.
I'm just trying to get it.
You had it all right there, off.
Yeah, I know, but I can't get it to stay there. Don't worry, I'm just buggering about.
Give it a good old thunk.
I'm just going to mute you for the moment for the sound for now.
Okay, no
The
biggie.
sound.
Okay.
Just until you sort it out, then I can put it back on again. Okay. How's it going, Wolfie?
Okay,
good evening. I'm fine.
Shalom,
Good evening,
shalom.
Wait a minute, let me do my intro here. Hi, good evening, everybody.
Wolfie.
Welcome to
Shalom,
this-
Mr. Baker.
Wolfie,
How's it, Wolfie?
be live.
Sorry.
Welcome to this. Let me put Harvey smoking on camera. I'm not sure if that's what Facebook is about that.
Am I not woke enough? What's the story? Am I too non? What do you mean smoking on camera? What does that mean?
Facebook is going to kick us off for the potty mouth. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
We're going to get the censure. The club is going to get the censure. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Friday night review show of the Arsenal Cape Town Official Supporters Club. We're going to talk a little bit. Well, we know what we're going to talk about. Joining me, we're going to talk about the game. You know what we're going to talk about. Joining me to talk about the thing that we're going to talk about, and we won't name it until it has to be named, is Brandon Baker. Gareth is Burroughs, who's hiding there behind protest poster. Wolfie Witten, and we welcome back an old friend of ours that we haven't seen for a while, Half Jennings. How are you gentlemen doing this morning? How's the emotion? How are the psyches?
As well as could be expected.
What's my mic's not on? Yeah. Okay, that says it all. Gareth.
Shalom.
Gareth, how are things going there behind the poster?
Well done.
Shalom.
Well done. Shalom.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. What a shame today to be an Arsenal fan, to be a Gooner, eh? I thought it couldn't get any worse after the Super League announcement. Oh, but wait. Arsenal have something more in store for you. One goal is all we needed at home. And we couldn't even do it. So, fuck it. How do you think I'm doing?
Wolfie, how's it going there?
Terrible. I've been on social media. There's about over 1,000 messages. We have now become a Banter FC club.
Banter FC.
It's terrible. It's terrible to be an Arsenal supporter now this season for the. It's terrible. I feel sorry for the young Gunners. Yeah, honestly, it's terrible. Terrible.
Okay. Brandon, how's it going there?
Yeah, all right. What more can I say? I'm not wearing an Arsenal tee, a cap, nothing. No banners behind tonight. Sorry, guys. Just my mood that I'm in. Really disappointing because my daughter's also a gooner and she couldn't understand this morning when she woke up. She said, like, and she just seen my face and she knew. It's a sad Friday. Not a manic Monday. It's a sad Friday. Jeez. Terrible, guys. Yeah.
Anyway, so just a quick update for anyone who's not been on planet Earth for the past 2 days. That's what happened. We could only manage a goal with drawdown, which means that we were out 1-2. Man United also lost. That's some minor good news, but they still went through, of course, based on the victory, the 6-2 victory the week before. And Real and Man United will play each other. What's the 26th May?
Yeah, it seems that way, yeah.
Okay. So Man United.
No one is interested.
I do want to know what this means, however, because if Man United take the Europa League and they qualify for Europe that way, what does that mean for league positions?
It doesn't mean anything. It only would have changed if we won it. If
Arsenal won the because Europa we would have had to jump up. Yeah, we had to jump up.
It doesn't matter now who wins it.
Okay. So obviously these have been it's been a sad 24 hours. All kinds of headlines. The club's unsure where it's going to go from here. Sorry, that's the wrong thing. Somehow talk started already that Bernardo could be out. There's been a lot of debate. Sacking Arteta will not solve.
Do you know who Arsenal
problems,
sent out to do the post-match conference yesterday? The post-match
Bernd Leno.
interview. Bernd Leno. They didn't send out their captain, who missed a few chances. They sent out the one man that they knew nobody could blame. The one man that saved us in the first leg. That is the man they sent out to go face the media after that fucking shambles last night. Spineless,
tell me something. That seems to be like the best game plan from Arteta the whole season.
You know what?
Sending out the best player from both.
You know what the problem is?
Well, I want to wait, guys. Before we start, I can see we're going down the rabbit hole here.
Electric Avenue.
Yeah. Half, if we haven't seen you for a while, I'm going to ask you the first question. I was, unlike others, I kind of was slightly relieved. With 1 minute to go, I was still hoping we'd score. As the final whistle blew, there was a bit of relief on my side because I figured, I was worried that maybe a Europa League would plaster over the cracks in the club at the moment. Was that relief warranted, or should I have been angry and ashamed?
Well, to be honest, I called it when they had the attempt at the Super League that I said I'm not interested in what happens with the club until we get new owners in, and I have not watched a minute of football. I'll be dead honest with you. I've just checked out the scores, and I've seen the highlights on the Blitz or whatever, just to see the goals or online. So I can't even tell you. I'm not interested in giving players numbers. Where the bottom line is, like I said at the start of the season, I don't want to keep going on about it, but like even before Christmas, Arteta's the owners are to blame because they gave that guy they had an opportunity to get 2 or 3 proper managers, but they went the cheap route. So that's why I still won't blame Arteta, even though he hasn't done a great job. But it's not his fault. The owners took the cheap route, and this is what you get. This is why I said the shit is coming. The karma is coming, and I'm not in the least surprised. I mean, look, we did burgle our way through a couple of results, but like everything, you've got to have the good and bad luck with the VAR. But at the end of the day, I said our players are not good enough to when the crucial chances come, we're going to be found wanting. That's exactly what happened. We hit the post. That's not good enough. You've got to score 1 goal at home. You can't find a striker in that old squad to score a goal at home. I'm not surprised at all, and I feel numb. I'm not even actually, that upset because I saw it coming. I didn't believe in the squad, and I still don't believe in the owners of the club until we get a new manager in. And even I know everybody's going on about this other Swedish guy, but that's just another tech company with money, and who knows, he might jump on the bandwagon when the Super League comes around again. I still don't, until we get proper ownership with people that are actually supporters or actually got the club's interest at heart. They're just chasing the Yankee dollar. The same shit's going to reoccur. So honestly, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, the fact is, I thought it would be a score draw, and I thought we'd go out on away goals, but not to even score a goal and put them under pressure. Because the later the game went on, I thought, you'll probably get one later on. When I saw the highlights, but as I say, I knew it was 0-0. I said, how could we not score? These guys they were playing for that 0-0 because they knew they were only going to pull their socks up if Arsenal had scored a goal, and they weren't actually put in that position. And Emery probably just said, we go out there, we only get our shit together. Once they score, then we'll have to throw the kitchen sink at them. It didn't even come to that. So, no, it is what it is. And I mean, I saw this before Christmas time, and I still say nothing's going to happen. He's not even going to get the sack because they're interested in they'll just keep him because he's going to cost less than any other manager, and we're going to throw money at it. They haven't got any Champions League money. They've got no Europa League money. So they've got to make up that before we even start putting money on top of that to get decent players. They'll get 1 or 2 journeymen, and that's it. But the problem kids there are the big signings that aren't good enough, and they're too old. And you know who they are. I've called them out before. So anyway, that's just letting me a bit of steam on my side. But I'm really not surprised in the least, to be honest. So there you are.
Brandon, what happened last night seems to have been a a recurring theme over our season. We just couldn't create sufficient decent opportunities. Okay, a couple of posts. We hit the post a couple of times, but yeah.
Look, like I say, Morgan, other teams, all teams, they create their own luck. I don't care about their 2 shots. Yes, it was unlucky. Yes, sometimes VAR is against us, like Harv mentioned. We've been a victim of bad refereeing and VAR the whole season. We have a lot of this season went against us. But besides that, there's teams, even like Liverpool, they've got guys on a lesser wage bill. They're top stars and our top stars. And us just not good enough. The mentality, the guys, the players, you can see their body language saying they're nonchalant, just like, okay. So what we lose, we're still getting paid type of attitude. And that is not good enough for the Arsenal Football Club. Arteta is clueless. I believed in the process in the beginning. I thought, give him a chance. But unfortunately, I've seen no improvement up to now. Last night was absolutely disastrous. Odegaard also, I have to mention him. He is absolutely useless. There's no ways we can sign this today. He's a one-dimensional left-footed. Sorry. He's 50 million. I don't know what Arsenal is smoking. If they really seriously interested in buying this bloke. He's a left-footed, one-dimensional player. He was running around the 18-yard box in circles on his left foot.
Yeah.
He had a chance. I was like, what are you doing? Cross the ball with your right foot. Yeah. I mean, even look, we've got a lot of left-footed players. I mean, I think half of the team is left-footed. If you look at the back line, Gabriel, I mean, Mari, most of them. I mean, Saka, Xhaka. But what I'm saying, yes, besides that, Morgan, if you are in a prominent position and you're attacking, there's no time to dwindle on the ball and turn and look for circus tricks. You're not in the circus. Yeah. You're a professional player. Cross the bloody ball. What do you do in training? Yeah. You know,
he's just not good enough,
He's not good enough, And I mean, you can't blame Smith Rowe. He was out of position, and Saka. I mean, apparently
for me, Smith Rowe tried. I mean, that's
he did try. Look, that's what I'm saying. I could see he was tired also because he was really trying to push, trying to press up. I mean, Odegaard wasn't even pressing anybody. No. The only thing he was doing he was depressing us. He was showing other players. I was watching him, Gareth. He was showing other players on the field what to do, like some type of line. I'm like, bruh. What did you do here? What did you do? You don't. You know, he comes right. He comes outside the box. He don't even shoot. I mean, come on, man. Jeez,
when he got signed, go.
Gareth, I want to ask you. I don't want us to focus too much on one single player. One can imagine it's quite easy getting rid of the manager. It's one person. Because there's now talk about what does the future hold for the. Let me just quickly. But how many players can we get rid of at this stage? We can't sell half the team and hope to buy another half. Can we even?
It's got to, if you want to do some side, there's too many players. But they too much. Good enough. Simple as that.
But will any team sell so many players? Would we be able to get rid of 6 players, 6 to 10?
Well,
we got rid of quite a few during this past transfer window. We got rid of quite a few. So I don't see why we can't get rid of a few again. Look, Bellerin, not Bellerin, Bellerin. He needs to get out. His time is done in Arsenal. Holding, he can take Holding with him. I know Holding's just signed a new contract, but he can job on. I mean, I don't know how that man keeps getting rewarded. And did you guys notice? I spoke about this last week. Another 2 chances fell to him yesterday. Big chances.
And
he's off his head. And it just, he fluffs it. Absolutely. Time and again, big chances from set.
I think Gabriel would have put one of the chances away.
Okay.
Wait. 100%. Come on.
Okay, so
Gabriel would have scored that.
Let's do it this way.
Still.
Everybody give me 3 players.
Okay, Morgan,
give me 3 players. They want out. Everyone give me 3
question.
Go.
3 players.
The players on loan. The 2 Madrid boys can go straight back to Madrid.
That's already out.
We don't need either of them. Okay, those 2 are out. Bellerin needs to be on his bike. That's 3.
Okay.
I'll give you one more.
That's 4.
Wait, that's your 3. I'm gonna do a hit count here. I want to do a hit count. Okay, so
Can
you've
I
got
just
Ainsley,
say about
Odegaard.
Odegaard?
Morgan,
And I
hang on.
just want to say this: when Madrid signed him, he was 15 years old. He was supposed to be this wonder kid. They called him the Norwegian Messi. This guy is flattered to deceive. He's nothing more than the Norwegian Freddie Adu. Honestly, he's bang average.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
He's
I seen it last
absolutely
night.
bang average.
He's not a game
Yeah,
changer.
yeah, Warren said it.
Wolfie,
You're bang average. He's
Wolfie,
absolutely
can I
rubbish.
have
man.
your three, Wolfie? Your three with the manager. You
I
get
first
three
want to
with
throw
the
in
manager.
I first want to throw in my 5 cents about last night's game before
That's
we
10
jump
cents.
on players. Yes.
Okay, go for
We
it.
jumped on
I
players.
think, look here,
We
regarding
jumped
the
on
game,
players. I also want to
But guys,
give my
guys,
5 cents
guys,
on
just-
last night.
Give
You
Wolfie
get
a chance,
your-
guys.
Yeah.
guys,
Please.
regarding the game, I mean, there's major questions that have to be asked once again from Arteta. I mean, in this show, we're trying to blame people that own the club. We're gonna get to these people, but now at the moment, you got to look at the manager, the manager that selected this club, the manager that had the club in a training session, the manager that had to motivate this team to score one goal, just one goal. This team had to only score one goal, and they couldn't do. You couldn't motivate. There was no courage. There was no desire, no energy, no intent, no passion. It was a total disgrace. If you got a question. Just give me a second. You got a question. Wrong team selection for the second time. There's the two main games that Arteta had to get right. First leg, second leg. First leg was an experiment. Second leg, another experiment. He played Smith Rowe and Odegaard in front of Party. He's never ever played this. So another
Don't you
experiment.
think his hand was forced there, though?
It was another experiment. Where was Oneni? I asked you the question. Why didn't he play Oneni?
I'll sideways.
Why didn't he play Oneni? Okay.
You need a goal.
Just give me a second. Give me a
Come on,
second.
his hand was forced.
Okay.
Gareth, this is it. I'm gonna give you a chance now.
Okay. Just look here. My thing is this. Oneni had a good game against Newcastle. He plays well with yes. Hector Bellerin had a good game at Newcastle. He started. Don't forget that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So Elneny, unfortunately, yes. Elneny had a good game. He scored a goal. The guy's on the bench. Elneny plays his best football when he plays with Party, right? Another guy that was named man of the match against Newcastle. Why is the guy on the bench? You said we need a goal. Why is the guy that got man of the match, gave the assist, he's on the bench? Saka has been poor. Why does Saka start every game? Saka, the only thing that Saka did for the last game was he won us the penalty. Overall play, the guy's been poor. Yesterday's game.
He got their players sent off as well. He drew that foul. Got their players sent
of
off.
course. Yeah. He got the players sent off.
That's two big moments. That's two big moments.
In his
That's two big
overall
moments.
performance. In his
Just
overall
Gareth,
performance.
First leg, that's two big performances.
Gareth,
His
this is
overall
it.
performance. He's been really, really poor. You got a question. If we needed the one goal, why didn't we come out halftime, make changes? First change came in the 66th minute. Why didn't Arteta throw the kitchen sink at Villarreal the first minute of the first half? Why didn't he do that? Why did he persist with the same team that had no energy, no desire? The whole team was playing. Even the commentator thought we were 1-0 up. The commentator said, with this 1-0, Arsenal can go through. Even he thought we were up the way we were playing.
Wolfie,
It's ridiculous team management.
Gareth, you're gonna get your chance now. Wolfie, name 3 players you think should be out at the end of the season. Okay,
Arteta one.
Okay, no.
Players.
Okay.
Not coach.
Okay, Arteta can take these 3 players with him.
Okay.
These 3 players he can take with him out. Rob Holding, Hector Bellerin, and Luke Sabaz is going.
Hopefully Odegaard's going.
Odegaard is going. I think those two players. I think it's just
No one else.
those two players.
You're okay with Aubameyang and Pepe and the lot?
I'm okay with all these. I'm okay with all the guys. I'm just my main focus is the manager hasn't got the best out of what he has. It's period. That's it.
Okay. Don't worry, Wolfie, we'll have you back. Okay, Gareth, I know you've been sort of chomping at the bit there. We will get you back. So give me a 1 minute plotted summary of your thoughts on what went wrong last night. And then I think you've given me your 3 players already.
Yeah, I have. Well, I don't think it went wrong last night. I think it went wrong back in 2007 when the Kroenkes first got their greedy hands on our club.
When Wenger sold
the club has been on a downward spiral ever since then. 2006, where were we? Champions League final. 2007, the Kroenkes come on board, and we've literally gone down from there. It's the Kroenkes that are supposedly financing this club. It's the Kroenkes that elected the board. It's the Kroenkes that elect the manager. So we can sit here and blame Arteta all we want. Make no mistake, you guys all know, everyone that watches the show, everyone that has me on social media, know I've always backed the manager. Right now, let me just show you here. I'm Arteta out. I'm agreeing with you guys, but it's no use. It's absolutely no use if Stan Kroenke doesn't go first. Because he's not going to back the new manager. You can go get your Allegri's if you want to get your Allegri and this Ten Hag and fucking Nagelsmann. Go get whoever you want. He's not going to do anything with the same squad and without any backing from the board. And you know what? The problem with Arsenal Football Club, if you look at any club, you have a spine. And that spine is the owner, the board, the captain, and the manager. The manager and the captain, right? Those 4, that is the spine of the club. Our spine is weak. All 4 of them are weak. All 4 of them need to get the hell out of our club. On the Aubameyang, he doesn't need to get out of our club. He just needs to lose the armband. He must still stay. We just need a new captain for the club. We need a strong leader and we need a strong spine, and that is what is lacking. Our spine at the club is spineless.
Okay. Brandon, I know you've had a couple of thoughts already. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to name players. I know you don't care about that, but I do have a question for you.
I'll give you 3 players. I mean, the standard 3 that I've always given.
Wait. Okay. That's it. Brandon, I'll have you back. Give me the 3.
God, those are worried about the back. I'm worried about the front line who can't score goals. And I said that was our problem, God knows how long, the whole season, right? I might not be liked here, everybody's favourite. Pepe, Willian, Aubameyang. Bye-bye. There's money there to now spend elsewhere. And we need players. The players that we got there can be given it, and we can buy 1 or 2 quality strikers at whatever the goal is. Right, just on the earlier comment about the left-footed players. Right, I suggest we get the groundsmen together, 2 or 3 of them, and they can basically prepare the pitch so that we have a left-footed pitch, so that we have an advantage over everybody else. Bollocks, the players that's small potatoes. Or maybe we only play one way in both halves, just the left-handed side. Play the left. But just getting back to the players out, the players, whatever. Like I said, there's been good talking, but it's always about the players that we should have started. And every game, it's the same story. If we played that guy, this would have been different. The bottom line is the squad. It's not good enough in my book. The squad. When we have to play, we have to do. We have to shuffle the pack. There's players that don't pull their weight, and that's the bottom line. The squad isn't strong enough, and our front line is not reliable enough to score goals. It's as simple as that. So, where the owner, all that I'm saying, it's the owner, Arteta, fair enough, but it's the owner's responsibility. And as far as I'm concerned, now we've shipped fewer goals than we did prior, because that was the thing. We were giving away silly goals. We're still not great at the back, but we've actually stopped shipping the silly goals. But now, we're relying on the front host to score, just 1 goal or 2 goals a game here, and we can't manage that. We get 4 goals against, in a Maverick game here and there, but when it's a tight game, we're struggling to actually get results at home. And I mean, look at the sides that we couldn't beat at home. I mean, that's why we're in 9th place, people. It's as simple as that. I mean, Crew Alexander would probably give us a good game, because they just come there and just say, well, if we don't concede a goal, I mean, we've got a chance of getting a point here, because they're just going to, at the end of the day, we throw the kitchen sink at the end, but there's no game plan change. And when the players come, when we bring another player on, it doesn't it doesn't give the manager anything else to think about. They just carry on defending as they have been. So for me, it's the whole malaise at the club is owner, management to an extent, but I would say that's an extension of the ownership of the owners. But the front is not good enough. We've got too many players.
Let's assume that the owner doesn't go. It's unlikely.
No, he's not going. He's not going anywhere. People can. I said before, Chris, remember they wanted the man. I said he's going nowhere. They appointed him because he's cheap. And you want to know why? Wolfie said earlier on why he didn't do this. I'm telling you, Arteta was told before that game that his job's safe. That's why you can read it in the papers, believe it. Maybe it's bullshit. But I reckon he's going to have another season or two, because the owner's just happy because he's not costing him anything. You know, you want a cheaper money. We didn't want to pay the big money, but you know who I would have at this club in a heartbeat. You know what? What manager I'd have this club in a heartbeat. Because he's proved his worth in the few years that he's managed. But he's going straight back to his own club, and they will have him gladly. I will have Steven Gerrard here, but he won't come here because, I mean, he'll whack the players into things. He'll get rid of the shit and that. But the owners, he won't have the power to actually do what he wants, because the owners will want to shout the odds. And he's already said it at Rangers. He's won the league title for the first time in God knows how many years after coming up. And all he's interested in is getting money next year, because he wants to make Champions League with Rangers or whatever, because they haven't done it in God, I don't know how many years. Now, that's ambition, and that sounds like a guy that knows what he wants. I would take Steven Gerrard any day of the week, but he's not coming. He's going to live.
Okay. Brandon, it's unlikely that the owners are going to go. I know there's a lot of fuss, but the owners are usually the last to go. How do we fix that? Okay, so far I've got 8 names here. 8 names of people that people want out. I'm not sure we're going to drop 8 people and sell 8 people and get 8 replacements. How do we fix the club within the context of a situation where the owners are going to stay? Because
that's a very difficult question, Morgan. The owners are going to stay. Jeez, they'll be in for another rocky few years.
Do you think I disagree with half that Arteta is going to last another season or two? I don't see him lasting beyond 6 months.
I think the problem now is we're not going to have any income from any European fixtures. Okay, so that's already another disadvantage. That's another loss to the Kroenkes. Hopefully, God willing, we pray about this, that they actually wake up and say, you know what, it's not worth it. We had a good ride, let's sell. Because maybe there's a really invested owner that's actually going to 10 matches and actually hope that the club does well and has passion for football. So that's been lacking for Arsenal for how many years now. And it's been proven on the pitch. So we've also had issues with Ozil being dragged over players and stuff. They're all to blame. It's the whole regime of the Kroenkes. They employed Edu, a whole bunch of the warrants that they've got there. So at the end of the day, we are going nowhere slowly. Doesn't matter what coach you're bringing. If the owners are not going to assist that coach in giving a chest and say, listen, right, bring the old Arsenal back. It might take 2 or 3 years. At least we know it's a project. Then we can say, hey, listen, okay, the owner's giving something. Then he can flush out the players and say, okay, look, you're not good enough. Gave you a chance. You are. There we go. Then you know. But if there's no money, look, you can't make a once in a while a 72 million signing or a 50 million here and there and think that things are going to be all smooth and rosy. Everybody laughed at Chelsea, 200 million. Wow! Look now. Huh? They're in top 4. They're in the Champions League final. Lampard wasn't cutting the ice. They actually said, goodbye. Yeah. And now they brought in a proper coach. And now they are excelling. And I'm actually scared to face Chelsea. We're playing them soon. My son's a Chelsea supporter, by the way. Jeez, I think we mustn't. When we play Chelsea, we mustn't even try and attack. We just park the bus. Because they're on fire now. I mean, look what they did to Real Madrid. Real Madrid was left wanting. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I thought, what's going on here? Jeez. What's going to happen to us?
They put those sponsors away. Jeez.
There we go. It would have been embarrassing. Yeah, it would have been embarrassing. Yeah. So, I mean, we've never been scared to play against Chelsea. But at the moment now, I actually don't want to watch that game. I think I'm gonna go away somewhere. To be honest, I just think, Morgan, we're in such a dilemma now that we need a new manager, new owners. That's a main core of the issue here. The players can be dealt with accordingly, but we've got some deadwood. Look, we've got rid of some of players, but we must get rid of Kolasinac as well. He's still on loan, I believe. I don't think it was a permanent move, if I'm not mistaken. Kolasinac was,
he's still on loan. Yeah, he's one.
But that was another balls up by letting him go on loan, knowing we don't have cover for
last year of his contract though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Gareth, that was another bollocks move from the club.
Oh, yeah.
Arteta, how do you not have cover for Tierney, our star left back? The guy gets injured because he's playing every single bloody game. Because he's so consistent. He's been giving assists. He tackles well. He presses up the pitch. His passing ability. I mean, he switches play from left to right. That guy's got a gifted left foot there. Jeez, I was watching. Even last night, he switched the play. He basically puts the ball on your foot or on your chest. But what I'm saying is, how do you know you don't have a left cover and you send
because he knows
that
he's
guy
got
out
Mr.
on
Versatile Granite Jacker that can play left.
You can't play him. You've been exposed to how many matches and you can't play him.
He's rubbish.
Okay, guys,
he's rubbish.
I just want to go to
No, you're right. You're right.
Sorry, that's
not only that. I mean,
absolutely.
Miles, who's also cover at wing back, was also sent out one day.
Just hang on a second, guys. Just hang on a second. Wolfie, I'm going to ask you the same question. Let's assume the owners are not going to go. How do we fix? What do we do?
Look,
and we can't sell. Let's be guys. I'm gonna quote David here. Let's be realistic. We're not gonna sell 8 or 10 players.
But
how do we fix?
If we're talking realistic, then they're not gonna sell Arteta either.
Look,
yeah, no, we have to be realistic.
My question to the viewers is: do you think this club or the team is better than 10th position? This team, according to my opinion, this team was strong enough to beat Villarreal. It's simple. We had enough firepower. Period. We should have beat them. I mean, to score one goal on your home ground, we should have been.
100%.
We should be going through. We should be going through.
That's on Arteta.
And on top of
that's all on him.
But like I said, at the end of the day, we got to look at the manager. He's not gotten the best out of the players that he has. If you look at a player like Partey, he wanted the guy. We bought the guy for 45 million. We talk about getting rid of players. What is Arteta doing with what he has? Is he getting the best of the players at his disposal? No, he's not. Partey was a man of the match performance against Liverpool in the Champions League. What was it? Semi-final on Anfield. He was the man of the match. We got him. The guy looks bang average in our midfield. It's as simple as that. If you look at the other guy,
does that
just
mean
another one?
If we get rid of the manager, can we keep this squad?
The squad is good enough to compete. We should never be laying in there. We need to look. My thing is this: get rid of 2-3 players maximum. We all know that Hector Bellerin is leaving. We all know that Xhaka is not good enough in our midfield. Rob Holding is a good squad player, but we need to get maybe 1 or 2 players in. We do need a number 10, but even if we get a good number 10 in, that doesn't guarantee that Arteta's going to get the best out of what he has. He hasn't got the best out of what he has this season. He's had a full season. He cannot be experimenting in a semi-final. It's ridiculous. And another thing, just one more thing. Baker was talking about Chelsea. Now Chelsea had the balls. They were struggling. They had a legend. Their club legend was the manager. They were given 200 plus million to buy players. They got the players. They saw things wasn't working out. Lampard was not getting the best out of what he had at the moment. He had world-class players, 80, 90, 100 million pound players. They got rid of him. They acted quick. They got in Tuchel. Tuchel got them to a FA Cup final. Tuchel got them to a Champions League final. Come on, people.
Okay. So,
I mean, really,
squad is okay. So, in summary, squad is okay. Drop the manager. That will solve our problems to an extent.
No, it won't solve the problems, Morgan.
No. You guys are saying, but you guys are saying it worked at Chelsea.
Okay, no. That
that's
was a
what Wolfie just
scenario.
said.
Hang on, no. That was a scenario that I posed earlier, and Wolfie just reiterated what I said. So what I'm trying to say is, if a manager is not able to get the best out of the players, then the whole club is like bang average. But if you bring in someone new, and Tuchel, I mean, that wasn't a fluke. I mean, they really outplayed Man City to get to that FA Cup final, which they deserve.
We can agree.
Look,
100%.
and I'm
Yeah,
saying, they
he's
outplayed.
working
Hang
with
on,
the exact.
yeah. But listen,
the exact same squad.
So this is
Exact same
actually,
squad.
yes, exactly what I'm saying. So it's ironic in the sense also, if you look at Tuchel, he was at PSG, they got rid of him, right?
Yeah.
So now PSG is out.
So what? So
Wait a
wait,
minute. So hang on. What I'm trying to say to you is, hang on.
Fails in one club but can
Yes.
succeed at another.
No. So it also, look, there's a degree that you have to blame the players also, because obviously they're on the pitch. But if you come week in, week out with bullshit instructions and tactics, you can't expect. Look here, let me give you a scenario quickly, Morgan. Under Unai Emery, us going live, we had a little chat in the studio, and I said, guys, how is it possible that we scored almost 30 goals more, 30 plus goals more, when Unai was here? Yes, our defense was leaky as hell, and Arteta came in and he kind of passed a little bit. Look, I'll give him a little bit of credit for that. It's a little bit. It's not much. But we haven't been scoring. So our defensive record is slightly improved, but our offensive record is up to shit. So you add 30 goals to our goals for this season, where does it put us? Nicely, maybe in the top 6. Those 1-1 draws or whatever draws and a potential 2-1 losses or whatever, where we could have scored 2 goals, hit the post, unlucky, VAR, blah, 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 the whole shenanigans. It's been going on the whole season.
Okay.
The point of the matter is that Arteta, listen, the point of the matter is Arteta is a young, inexperienced coach. Yes, he was maybe under the influence of Pep, but he wasn't good enough initially to come to the Arsenal because he doesn't have experience. It's a big club. It's a big stat. Look, Sentiment Society was a player. He was kind of just maybe above average.
He wasn't even a legend.
Guys, this is what I'm trying to get to. Guys, this is what I'm trying to get to. Let's assume there aren't going to be wholesale, dramatic, sweeping changes at the club over the holiday. Maybe the manager gets dropped, but how do we improve the club realistically, other than firing the manager, the owners, and half the team? What can we do in the meantime to get into at least top 4 position? Can the squad get us into top 4? Then we know it's simple, drop the manager. Is it that simple?
No.
Is that the first solution?
The
Go for half.
They're just not good enough, guys.
Not good enough. I mean, that's the bottom line. You've got to spend the money. The players aren't good enough for top 4. I mean, that's why we're 9th. We're struggling to actually compete for Europa League places. Come on, guys. I mean, who are we going to oust there? Spurs had their bad patch. They got rid of Mourinho. They just them and Liverpool are waiting for somebody. But I think Brendan Rodgers is going to keep Leicester there. They're just hanging in, but they're solid enough. Chelsea are getting stronger, and the 2 Manchester clubs. How are we going to make top 4 without spending money? Not going to happen, I'm afraid. Not with this squad.
So tell me something. How did Leicester City get into the top 4 without spending a lot of money? They never spent a lot of money. They just have a good coach.
And they've had the same players there. They bought wisely 1 or 2, but basically the players they've got there actually are good enough to get the job done.
You got to give the manager credit. You got to give the manager credit for what he's done.
I can't argue.
But hang on. With all due respect, Wolfie's comment about Leicester, remember they had tons of injuries.
Well,
and they still went on. Hang on. They don't have a big squad. They don't have depth. Hang on. They don't have depth. I'm just saying. I'm just trying. I'm not drifting off the point there, but I just want to say that Leicester basically had a hell of a lot of injuries. They had key players, vital players missing. Yes,
but their players
have been good. Still winning. They were still winning. What's the excuse for us?
Okay. Can I ask a question? As host, can I ask a question? Do you think that West Ham and Leicester's success this season have a little bit to do with the other clubs doing so poorly? Liverpool going through a slump, Arsenal drifting way off the mark. And again, if you look at between 5th and where we are, it's 7 points. 7 is very few points. Do you think that
Possibly-
is something to do with
I
it?
think what
Possibly
they've done, I think what the Leicesters and the West Hams have done is they've capitalized on the inconsistencies of the so-called
COVID thing.
Big Six, or the other half of the so-called Big Six in terms of
exactly.
Arsenal, Spurs, and Liverpool. I think that's all they've done. I mean, that hasn't been remarkable because, like you said, the 1-0 here, 2-1 there, and those games get turned around. And then us, Liverpool and Spurs, are also right up there again. So I don't think they've done that great. I think they've just capitalized on inconsistencies.
And Moyes has also done okay because he hasn't been under pressure being at a big club. Remember when he was at Everton for a good couple of years? I think he's been more comfortable and he's happy working with what he's got. So I think that's also added to the thing. But the fact that I'm not blaming
his level,
it, but sides haven't had the home advantage with the crowds and shit. That's played into their hands as well because they always struggle with antagonistic.
Okay, Ashley
I'll
is
tell you
saying,
what's the difference
just for the record, Ashley is saying that Leicester spend money well. Look at their signings and look how Rodgers runs the team.
Well, there you
The
go. And
difference
they've had good players.
The difference between West Ham and Leicester City and what happened yesterday. One thing, experience. Experience. That's a big difference.
100%.
These guys is experience. These guys is experience.
That's the coaches, yeah.
These three coaches have experience. That is the big difference. Simple.
Okay.
It's simple.
Okay.
Guys, I just want to let you guys know. Did you guys know that Francis Coquelin was named man of the match?
Oh,
Man of the match.
brilliant. It was brilliant.
Man of the match.
He was setting up all the play.
Guys, I really, guys, I want to tell you just this one thing, that it shows you that Emery, he basically worked with what he had.
Yeah, so
He organized the average team, and they played with discipline.
Yeah,
And he worked with what he had. I mean, guys, just think about it. Coquelin. Imagine Coquelin was in our
Arsenal reject, Wolfie.
Imagine Coquelin, guys. Imagine Coquelin was playing yesterday, and we were playing against Partey at Valerie had Partey in their midfield. We would have been, wow, Partey's going to be running Coquelin flat. Look what Emery did. Look what Emery did.
Yeah.
I mean, Arteta has no excuses. He's got abundance of talent. Talent.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do it this way. I'm going to ask a question. Yeah, I just want to ask a question. Considering that it's very unlikely that we're going to get into European football, the idea of selling must be tempting. But is anybody of note going to be willing to sign for an Arsenal, a team that can't offer European football?
It's going to be very difficult there, Morgan.
Well,
difficult or impossible?
Money talks, money talks.
Look, you must remember, like I mentioned earlier, we actually pay some of those useless players of ours more wages than some of the top teams above us. So
thank you.
That's probably the only draw card to Arsenal, is that we are gullible in the sense of signing or renewing contracts or giving exorbitant amount of bloody wages. I mean, how do you take off a boomerang? The guy hit the post twice, and then you bring on what? Nketiah or
William.
Something? Yeah, and Nketiah also. You know, at one stage, I think I went to go pour me a dop. And I came back, I'm like, what the hell is Nketiah doing on the pitch? I thought I was drunk.
Yeah,
I was like,
get a yellow card. I was like, what?
Remember, what match was that when he just came on and he got sent off? Was it the Chelsea match?
Oh, yes.
Remember, we had the hype. I just sent him off. I was like, oh my God, this guy just came on. So, you know what? I had deja vu on that. I was like, really? Just like he just got a yellow card. I was like, oh God, let me take something stronger. You know, I have to go to work, but I don't give a shit. Let me drink something strong, like maybe a bottle of whiskey alone or something, because this is just the way those guys are making me feel. Jeez.
I want to ask Half a question. Half, is there any good that could come out of this season? We've done this poorly, and the only way is up.
No, the only good. I mean, looking at it without isn't going to go. We're not going to get managers. We're not going to get new owners, and even this other crew coming in. I mean, tech companies. You're basically going to be in the same boat as. Okay, well, I don't want to go there, but if you ask me, I'll give you one good thing that's come from the season. The naysayers and the people with their heads in the sand that have been looking everywhere else, but you could see this coming, this train smash coming slowly. We've got a couple of FA Cups in the last couple of, but generally we've been less and less threatening as contenders at the top end echelon of the league. And this is where we are now. So all it does to the fans that have actually been looking for extraneous reasons why this is it, just to show that now we've proven we are not good. There has to be a wholesale change, and that basically has to be on the fans now realizing where we are and what needs to be done. It's not just a case of picking the right team for particular games and this guy's not in, that guy should have played, we would have done this if we did that, whatever the case may be. I'm just saying it's opened surely a lot of naysayers' eyes to where we are, and this is the reality, because there's other clubs that are chomping at the bit coming up. I mean, I see the Canaries are coming up, and those sides have got experience in it. They haven't been up here for a season. But I mean, they're going to come out flying, and we have got such a track record of playing sides that have come up from the second division, and especially with sides that have got experience there. So, they're going to be coming, and I'm telling you, we are going to be targeted as a possible 3 points. Believe it or not, this is how it is. We're going to be targeted by the side coming up. This is the nature of the beast. So all I'm saying is it's just the reality check, and now we're all going to be on the same page. But it's not a case of just this or just that. It's the whole malaise and the whole scenario. How long it's going to take to fix it, and how much money we have to throw at this thing. But it's ownership. It's taking responsibility. But everybody's got to buy into this thing. I don't want to hear about one player that keeps letting us down. We shouldn't be at the club. That's why I'm saying the 3 I want out are earning too much money, and they're not doing enough weight to actually justify their wages, because they'd actually keep the club up. I mean, remember Van Persie kept the club up on his own before he sold it. I don't care what anybody tells me about it, but he was that good. Yeah. And that's what we need in a club.
Yeah. Okay, Brandon, Gareth, let me quickly ask you. I'm looking at Yassine's comment here that Arsenal needs to build around the young players, etc., etc. And Arteta, see this maybe an answer. Arteta needs to bring experienced coaches in to help him to extend the hand, and a few other points. Now, I want to ask you though. We've all come up with a list of names of players that we think should leave. Is there a chance now that we may lose a couple of players that we don't want to leave?
For sure.
The young boys.
Martinelli will definitely leave.
Well, look, I don't know. Look, you must remember these boys have just recently signed long-term contracts. So
but contracts are not contracts can be bought out.
Leave, given their age and given that it's all been 5-year contracts, we will get good money for them.
Smith Rowe hasn't signed the contract yet.
Smith Rowe hasn't signed his one yet. Look, I do think they will all stay. I think I'm hoping that the guys that will want to leave will be like your Willians. Okay, we already know Bellerin's leaving. Hopefully, Xhaka will want to leave. So I'm not too perturbed of who could leave. I definitely don't think the youngsters will leave. I think they will be sold the idea that the team will be built around them, which I agree with. I just think a new manager needs to build the team around them. So we need to start off first by finding a new manager and getting Arteta out as soon as possible. You said realistically, I don't think that will happen, because if we don't sell,
then give me realistically. And realistically,
well, if the Conte stay, they're not going to fire Arteta because he's a cheap option.
Okay, but there must be a solution other than if he stays. Well, that's the end of the world. There has to be. Does Yassine's comment make sense? That maybe we bring in support.
You can't. But you're not going to bring in experienced coaches because they cost money. I agree with the first part of building the team around the young players. Absolutely. Your Saka, your Emile Smith Rowe, obviously maybe getting another experienced 10 alongside Smith Rowe that can almost be like a mentor. Ozil would have been perfect, but we all know what happened there. But experienced coaches, no. We need to get an experienced manager in. It's bottom line. Arteta's taken the side nowhere. Yeah. He's been given 18 months, and it's time up for him. I know nothing will change without the Kroenkes, but if you know what, I'm happy to say, you know what, Arteta, you need to go, and Let's see
Yeah.
who we get. It's a
I
game
wanna-
at this stage, and
Okay,
I'm worth
no, no.
taking. We are lane 10.
Okay.
It's not going to get
Yeah.
any worse than this. It's
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
So I'm
I
going
think
to
we should have. We should have.
and whoever we get, we get.
Yeah, Gareth,
Okay.
I think we should have. We should have
Brendan?
actually pushed for Brendan Rodgers when we had the chance. Jeez.
Brendan,
Well,
let me
Gareth
ask
done a
you
better
I
job.
believe he's already turned down Spurs. No doubt he'll
I
turn down
know.
Arsenal.
Now, but
Let
I'm
me
saying
ask
it's
you
the
about
time
the
we should have
coach.
pushed for him.
Oh, yeah, back
Yeah.
then. No,
Brendan,
absolutely.
guys,
Absolutely.
I just have a question.
Yeah,
If Unai had stayed, had stayed, do you
Okay.
think we can't tell what would have happened, but do you think we would have been in a better position, that we'd have been top 4 contenders playing Champions League football?
Who do you have
yeah,
money
look,
to
I
spend?
think-
That's the thing.
No
okay, but
money.
hang on,
no
hang on.
money.
No,
We
no,
can't
hang on.
change.
Just
We can't
listen,
change
we
that.
already, we can't say that, but we already I mean, Arteta's brought in Partey as well, and I mean, I think
Gabriel.
we would have been higher up, and Gabriel, yeah. Look, I think
Not higher.
maybe
Seventh is higher. I want to ask, do you think if Unai
yes,
had
no.
stayed, an experienced manager,
I think, to be honest with you, the way this season went now, so unpredictable. Yes, was Unai, considering the amount of goals he
Purchases.
was scoring under him. I think now, look, COVID has brought obviously unreal season to all of us. I mean, teams that not supposed to be in the top 5, 6 is there, and we can't take it away from them. They deservedly belong there because of their performances on the pitch. But I think Arteta's tactics and late substitutions has just let everybody down. Another player we forgot about. Hang on. Another player we forgot about is Lucas Torreira. I think he's on loan. I think everybody forgot about him. He's still at Atletico, yeah. So he's another one that must buy. So look, we're just making the wage ball less and less.
I'm just
But
people.
yeah. No,
You have,
listen.
you have to get other people in. You can't. It's not Standard Bank. You can't just cut staff.
Listen.
No, it's
Listen.
Arsenal. They just cut off.
We had an oversaturated bench. Half of the players weren't utilized. So what do you want the coach to do? That's dead wood because it's taking up the revenue of the club, and we're already running at a loss. So with that being said, I think we do need a new coach for the new season. I'm not prepared to back Arteta. He has to get out. He's inexperienced. He's too young. We gave him a chance. He's fluffed it so many times. He's stubborn and he's set in his ways. He's even bloody naive in his bloody
WENGER.
and cocky. He's cocky in his bloody post-match interviews and stuff. He throws up a lot of dreck when he speaks off post-match. I'm like, I want to clap this also to the TV because he really makes my balls warm, like they say. Because sometimes he's a real idiot in his post-match. I'm like, what are you speaking about? What are you watching?
That attitude, man.
Yes, he's got that arrogance about him. And it's just not good enough for the Arsenal. I don't care if he was an ex-player. Cut all that sentiments. Get the guy in. We are the Arsenal Football Club.
I've wanted
we love
to
this
work.
club.
I've backed
Get us
him,
into it.
But
You know?
Arteta,
In closing, I need you guys to now come up with each of you get one thing that you think has to change over even if it's everyone says out with the manager, so be it. I want to know one thing that we can change to improve the club's performance, at least over the first half of the new season.
If you guys,
Other than
now look here,
realistic,
guys, this is actually very realistic. There's a chance that it can actually buy Arsenal. It's realistic. He's going to offer. He's according to Henry, club legend. They are busy accumulating funds to buy Arsenal. Look, what was said was he didn't want to put the bid up in this week because it was such an important game in our club's history, and I could understand that. So within the coming weeks, he's going to put his bid forward. Now, apparently, this bid is going to be in the region of 1.8 billion pounds. It is 900 million more than what the Kroenkes paid for Arsenal. If you can double up your money now, I mean, as a businessman, you'd want to take it. So that is the realistic part of it. It's a simple equation. You can make twice as much as you made when you bought the club. As far as like what Baker just said earlier on, we're going to now be losing 60 million pounds. That's a revenue, commercial, it's ticket sales,
and players that want to come to the club because they're not playing European.
It's TV rights, all those. It's 60 million. It's 60 million pounds. We're going to be losing. You guys are talking about buying. You guys are talking about adding players. You know what's going to happen now? They're going to have to cut the wage bill. They're going to have to start releasing players to buy players. We're going to have to sell 3 players and maybe buy 1 player. That's what's going to happen because we are now automatically we'll be playing 12 games less. You have a huge squad. Who are you going to play? Who are you going to play against? A Sunday League team on a Thursday. You got a huge squad. You got to trim your squad now. These are all things that's going to have to happen. So, realistically, it has a possibility to have his bid accepted. And the next couple of weeks is going to be, it is going to be important for all Arsenal fans that we hope and we pray that these assholes, Kroenkes, can leave the club and take the bid and hand it over to someone that can make a difference. The guy apparently the guy spoke to the AGM, the head guy of the supporters. They had a good meeting.
Okay, so that's your one thing, new owner. Hov, what's your one thing? Maybe we can send a WhatsApp to the club.
But as I said, Wolfie says we're going to have to sell big players to alleviate the wage bill to actually, just make things possible. And I think an example to show the other players that nobody is basically cast in stone there. I'm telling you, get rid of the non-captain that we've got there. Major money. And the thing is, he's 30 years old. We're not going to get anything.
31 years old.
31.
The same thing with Henry. How much did we get for Henry? We could have sold him for 32. We waited a season. We got 14 or 16 for him. We've done this so often. We always go on about how we're so fastidious with our money. But Christ, when was the last time we got any decent money for anybody? I mean, I don't know how much we got for Sanchez. I mean, 25
don't have any decent players at the moment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Are these guys worth it?
Unless we sell one of the youngsters.
And I don't want to go there, but that was the worry. And this is what the worry is in the off season. We are going to lose. Some of these guys are going to put in transfers. I mean, and this is the big thing. And if clubs give them, we'll take you on for 4 years and we can guarantee your first team football, they're going to be off like a trot. And we know who those players are. So we're in a big mess here, major. But I think we've got to have to sell one big guy. And I'm telling you, he is expendable. I said at the start of the season, I called it. And he's had all this sort of shit. He's mentally, he's not there. He's just, and the age factor as well. Get rid of him before he loses yards. Okay. Like, I mean,
Brandon, so Obama young out, Kroenke out. Your one thing.
Sure.
No one has chosen the manager out. No one has chosen the manager out.
I told you guys. Arteta needs to go.
But he's
we did say already, Morgan. No. We know it's not going to happen, and even if we choose it or whatever. So Arteta's going to probably start a new season off because this club is so bloody cheap. That's a given. They're going to choose him to obviously stay because they don't have to pay a big manager that exorbitant wage. So they can just stick with him and ride it out. And now the excuse will be we're not playing in Europe, so give him a time to experiment, bloody blah, build his team, all this kind of cuck. So the problem is you're building a team on what? You don't want to give the guy money to bring in his own players. So how are we going to judge him? We're going to just say he's a loss. He's useless. So he's a disaster since the start. So what do you want us to say? And I actually feel for him. He maybe came to Arsenal at the wrong time. Maybe he should have gone to a lower tier team and coached him for 2 or 3 years and then came to the Arsenal. Unfortunately, he took the job. Also, he knew what he was getting himself into. Previous coaches wasn't given an exorbitant war chest where you can just go boss and go buy what players you want. So I think Arteta's going to stay, but the players, we're going to have to sell at least, like Hobbs said, 5 or 6 players. And if Aubameyang has to go or Lacazette has to go and we can get that type of revenue in, because I can tell you now, Kroenkes are not going to give him any money, really. That's all bullshit that we read in the paper, in the press. They're going to give him 150, blah, blah. No. That's not going to happen. I can tell you that now. So his job now, Arteta, to get in ready to the pre-season and the new season ahead. The season's already done. He has to sell his key players now, which is basically like your star players. Let's call it that. As your Aubameyang, it's going to be probably like Lacazette. He might even, I don't know if you're going to be able to sell Pepe, but you're going to have
And
to
that's
go for
72
Pepe as
mil.
well. I would also sell that 3 players can bring us the most revenue. Like Hawk mentioned, when last did Arsenal do a decent? I think the only money we
Van
really
Persie.
made was besides Van Persie, was the decent money we made was actually
Sanchez. I don't know how much we got for him.
no, wasn't Sanchez. No, I'm thinking post him. We sold what's his name? The Nigerian dude.
No, it's fine.
Yeah,
Iwobi.
yeah. To Everton, and we sold to Everton to Liverpool. What's his name? Chamberlain. Yeah, that too was the last time we made profit.
Guys, we want to sell two of the guys who scored all the goals the whole season. That is a relegation. It's a relegation form, guys. Who's going to score the goals for us? Who's going to score the goals for us?
Yeah, exactly. The problem with Arsenal is we don't have any goal-scoring midfielders.
Yeah,
Who's going to score the goals?
we know that. We know that.
Brandon, so great. Okay, there's your option. I'm going to ask you, what do we fix in the midfield?
I
You're asking me.
Who do we bring in here? Because that's going to be your thing now. That's going to be your thing now.
Oh, you are asking me. Sorry, I thought you.
Yes, I am.
I've got absolutely no idea. I've got no idea. Because if you look at it, right? I mean, just to go back to the question that you asked all the other panelists. Realistically, what's going to happen? Realistically, the Cronkays will still be in charge. Realistically, Arteta's still going to be in charge. The only thing that I can see happening is that the protest increase. And they put pressure on Josh Kroenke to fulfill his promise of saying he's going to invest in the club in the off-season. And they're going to be retarded enough to invest and make the squad bigger to appease the fans. And we're just going to be stuck in the same mess over and over again. And what we're going to do is, you guys must remember now, we're out of Europe. We haven't got that lure of Europe to get any big players. So what are we going to get? We're going to get your William-type players.
Exactly.
Your aging players. Like that
the freebies,
Champions League team, but
freebies,
they will
Gareth.
start. They will happily start for a supposedly big, but actually nothing more than a mid-table club, which is exactly what we are. So, like you said, freebies, we'll get a William, and we'll probably get one and two of these other bastards that are also like 31, 32, and cracking their heels and come off already.
We have become Spurs. We have become Spurs.
It's 9 o'clock, so I do want to close. Wolfie, can you keep it to 20 seconds?
20
I'm going to
seconds.
give you the final word.
Final whistle. The final
We've only
whistle.
got 13 seconds left. Wolfie, 13 seconds.
Wolfie, you're wasting seconds there.
Okay, so there's been a lot of talk that we're in for the Brighton defensive box-to-box midfielder, Musumba. He's a strong midfielder. He will play well with Partey. Partey does need a partner, seeing that Arteta is using Xhaka at left back. So Musumba would be the perfect replacement there in that midfield. We will need a number 10, the guy from Lyon. We do need that guy. We need a dominant midfield that can keep ball, that can dominate games. Those are the only two positions that I can see that could be filled. Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Pepe, they can be kept. I'd love to see more of Balogun next season.
Yeah.
So I just hope that, like you guys say, it's a given that Arteta is going to stay. But what happens if things get worse next season?
Wow, that's what you said. You said you can't get him.
So we'll keep him on because he's the cheap option.
I think it's cheap, and I think if he doesn't improve, and I've already lost money. I've already lost money on Arsenal winning the Europa League. I'm out $50, and I'm very sad about $50. I'm now betting on Leeds. Yeah. So we do have. I assume he's going to have 6 months.
Okay. But if he stays and he continues to do, we continue to slide, okay? And who do you think we can attract? Who are we going to be able to attract?
The owner's not going to change.
The likes of Eddie Howe and Sean Dyche. Those are the managers you're going to attract at that stage.
The only thing we're gonna
Right
track
now.
is flies. The only thing we're gonna track is
We
flies.
gotta get,
Okay,
you know what?
we gotta get Brandon Rodgers. We've got to. We gotta get Brandon Rodgers in. Even if we double
Yeah.
his salary, we've got to
Wolfie,
get him in.
or even Brandon
Will we
Baker.
overpay
You know what I'm
the
saying?
game?
What I'm going to say is,
Steven Gerrard.
You will do a better job.
we've got Steven
Put
Gerrard,
a bet in for
we've got
Steven
Brandon
Gerrard.
Rodgers. I will just say, leave Leeds alone. Leave the Leeds manager where he is.
Oh,
Even
yes,
Ah,
yes.
come on, Morgan.
I
Ah,
need
Morgan, Morgan,
every weekend. I need a football game to enjoy.
Morgan,
Leeds
stop
give
that. First, you said
Hey,
you were
you'll enjoy it when he's at
undercover. You
Arsenal.
were,
Morgan,
hello.
Morgan, I just want to let you know, Morgan, I want to let you know. The Leeds coach, what's his name?
Gareth.
What's his name?
Morgan is
The Leeds coach.
Morgan is
I forget his name now,
He
but
first said he's an undercover United fan, and now he's a
Yeah.
Leeds supporter. So
Yeah,
man is-
yeah.
Morgan,
yeah,
I just want to let you know
It's all the teams
that
with United in it.
the Leeds coach, he's
Yeah,
got this
Bielsa.
thing where he signs only 1 season contract.
oh
So his contract is up for renewal.
yeah,
Yeah.
He works well with kids. We've got abundance of talent. He would
Yeah.
be the perfect fit to work with those kids. I'm just throwing it out there.
You guys are just upsetting me now, man. Okay.
We need that
Okay.
guy.
No nonsense.
We need that guy, man.
let's wrap it up. What are your predictions? Okay, quick one. I'm not gonna take
Analyze.
over Morgan.
I'm not
So
even-
what's the prediction for Sunday? All I want to know.
I didn't know. I didn't think I was going to ask for predictions because everyone's going to come up with a losing score.
But it doesn't matter. I want to hear.
Oh,
it.
West Brom probably haven't won at Emirates since like 1792. So
Yeah.
Half
I don't even know.
prediction.
Okay, hang on. Can all
West
go
Brom?
first?
Half
Yeah, yeah,
playing
just
West
quick.
Brom.
We'll,
Playing West Brom at home.
how many games have we got left? 4, 3. How many?
4 years.
Four.
4.
Oh,
Okay, we'll win 3 of the 4. The other sides are all basically safe from the drop. Newcastle safe. I think.
now we
West
beat
Brom.
Newcastle already. Yeah.
Okay,
So
who we
don't worry
got?
about them.
we
But
got
yeah,
West
Now
Brom
we
this
got
Sunday.
we got West Brom,
we go.
Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
can-
these are
I
only
can show
problem
you
there.
we've got.
The other sides above us are going to win as well, so we're not going to get any higher in the league. That's all I can say. They're nothing games, people. Sorry, that's all I can say.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So I just want to ask again. Can someone give me a prediction for?
I'm going 2-1 to
3-0
West Brom.
Arsenal.
2-1
Wait,
to
wait,
West
wait,
Brom.
West Brom.
2-1
Okay,
West
just
Brom.
2-1. Okay, so 1-2 says Wolfie.
Yeah, I say
Right.
exactly the same. Yeah,
Gareth?
1-2.
Okay. So I
1-2. Yeah. So
see, Brandon, why I didn't want to ask. I wasn't going to ask for predictions. Because I
3-0
knew I was going
Arsenal.
to get.
3-0 Arsenal.
yeah, but you know, if we were playing away from home, then I probably would have said 6-1 Arsenal because they probably would have done something bloody
Guys,
stupid like
I
that.
just want to let you guys
But we're
know
playing at home, so we'll lose.
we haven't scored in 10 home games this season. It's a club record.
Pathetic.
First time ever.
Yeah.
Club record.
Arteta
Club
masterclass.
record.
To the
10
season
home
crime.
games. 10 home games. Club
Yeah,
record.
Arteta's
We
got
play
nothing
the
to lose
most.
now.
Arteta
To
masterclass.
watch Arsenal.
He's gonna go all out now,
Just for
attacking
the
with
record.
yeah.
Half. Those are the games we have left.
We'll lose all
Palace,
four.
yeah. Ah, right.
We're gonna see, Brandon.
No,
there
we'll
was
beat,
a reason I
we'll
didn't
lose
want to
all
ask
four.
we'll beat
for-
Palace.
3-1,
was a
4-1,
Palace.
2-1.
We'll win. We'll win 2 and we'll win 2 and draw 1.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
beat Palace because that's my birthday.
7 points.
Ah,
Away from home,
Okay.
3-1.
Okay,
there's
let's
3
leave it at that. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for tonight. We obviously the club is going through a major existential crisis. It's not quite menopause, but certainly a crisis of who we are and where we're going.
yeah. Yes.
The fans seem to have a few things in mind. I'm not sure how many of those things will happen, but hopefully at least 1 or 2 will come to fruition so that next year I can actually win money off Arsenal. So far, I'm winning all my money off Leeds. That's what I'm saying.
Bet
So-
against Arsenal, you will win a lot of money.
Back the women's team. They're doing better than we are. At least they're in contention for sure.
Yeah. No, at least, yeah.
Yes.
So that's where I make a 20 rand occasionally as well. So we'll see you again on Monday. Hopefully, Lord knows what's going to happen on Sunday, because the players are down, the fans are down at the moment. And so,
it's Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And
And it's Mother's Day. We're going to
And
do
it's
it
Mother's
for the mothers.
Even the prices should stadium now. Everything's gone to shit.
It's Mother's Day. Spend time with your mothers. Leave Arsenal alone.
There we go.
Your mother's
Shout
going to bring, yes, she will bring so much joy to your heart. Arsenal's going to bring misery.
Here we
Make a
go.
wise
Well
choice.
said.
Yeah.
Don't
Have
argue
some
with
red
that.
wine. Have some red wine, guys. Shalom.
I am-
No, but we're only
Yeah.
playing at
Just
8
for the
o'clock in the
record-
evening.
just for
Hopefully
the
by then you're
record-
at home, man. You're not still
So
by your
guess
mother.
what? So guess
Yeah, but
what
we're
game
sleeping,
I'm
eh?
looking forward to this weekend? You can imagine what game I'm looking forward to. It's Leeds versus the Spuds this weekend.
Oh,
So,
lovely.
I think it's this weekend, yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to. See you guys.
MotoGP, Brad Binder. Brad Binder's up this weekend. That's all I'm interested in.
Yeah,
Back of the
that's
race.
it. MotoGP, bro.
Here we
For
go.
the win.
Okay.
Cheers,
Have
bro.
a good night. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks
Cheers,
a lot.
guys.
Cool. Thanks.
Take it easy, huh? Sweet man. Cheers.